Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 15th of October 2011. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with your Western Pacific weather update for today. Looking out here across Eastern Asia and Western Pacific, though, you do have two areas of convection that are really duly noted out here. First is this strong area of low pressure that's basically extending all the way from Hokkaido all the way down towards Taiwan. And a lot of the outflow that came out of our tropical depression Ramon here, or tropical depression Banyan, actually still located right about in this area right in here. You can see a little bit of swirl in the clouds. Well, that's since been finalized out here by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, but there still is a little bit of circulation, but nothing really threatening. But a lot of the outflow of that is pumping up towards the north, bringing a lot of moist air and bringing rain showers all across the Ryukyu Islands. Actually, some thunderstorms out there with rain showers extending all the way across Japan, and actually an area of low pressure which is setting up basically centered right about in this location here. You have a warm front extending off of that and another cold front extending towards the south. I know that's really not exactly how that should look, but that's kind of a gist of what's going on. And also we have Invest 93 whiskey located out here, moving away from Guam right now. Really don't expect too much to develop with that, but it is located in a low wind shear environment. Some high sea surface temperatures out there, but as this low tracks off towards the east, that's going to be bringing some wind shear so to it, and likely this system is going to track off towards the northwest and then eventually recurve out to sea with no impacts. But let's look a little bit closer at this Invest right now, noting that actually no increase the chance for development on this system up to about 10 to 20%. But as I already noted, though, as that wind shear starts to work its way in from the west, this should actually start to decrease. But I do want to mention that first, in that if this was to develop, though, and really the good news is that it's going to follow this overall background flow, and actually the low is located right about here, that low pressure system just to the west of Guam, which is right here in the Marianas. But if we follow the background flow, really it just kind of takes it off towards the west here and eventually the northwest and recurves it out to the northeast, following that trough of low pressure that's digging in from the north here, bringing those rain showers across Japan. Really, this is not going to flow past that, and good news, looks like it's going to spare much of the Philippines here from yet another area of low pressure moving across there. So actually, for the time being, it looks like you're going to be seeing some pretty sunny weather out there across the Philippines, and finally a relief from the monsoonal rain. But let's take a look at the forecast outlook. Now this is looking at GFS here, starting today on Saturday the 15th. As we move through in the next couple of days, actually out until Sunday, which is tomorrow, this trough of low pressure starts to move off the coast of Japan, bringing in some high pressure in behind it. You still have a occlusion out here over Russia that's going to continue to wrap around up there and bring some rain showers and yet some snow possibly here towards the west coast of Hokkaido. But as noting here, though, most of these rain showers just start to move off the coast of Japan and away from the island, bringing some sunny weather out here across much of the region. Could see some gusty winds coming in from the northwest here. Actually, see this gradient right in here? Well, this is actually indicating some of these northwesterly winds coming in off of Russia. That's going to be picking up some of that moisture and dropping in on here along the east coast, or excuse me, the west coast of Honshu and the west coast of Hokkaido, possibly bringing some snow showers to much of that region. But overall, though, really high pressure kind of dominating out here towards the east, and really the southwest monsoon not very apparent at this time. You do have some convection possibly here along the monsoonal trough extending out towards Indochina, where we've been seeing that extensive flooding across Thailand. Actually a really kind of a desperate situation out there right now. But overall, looks like with the remnants of our tropical depression out here starting to die off, starting to see the tropics become an altogether much more hospitable place right now. Really overall, it doesn't look like any tropical systems are going to develop up in the next several days. So good news there, but we're still in tropical season, so not quite out of the woods just yet. But here, just taking a glance at KMA surface analysis here for the northwestern Pacific, including Eastern Asia here, you do have the area of low pressure all the way from Hokkaido extending down here towards the Ryukyu Islands. But check this out. Behind this, you got the occlusion and a lot of this tight gradient here across much of eastern China is pumping in colder air. For noting here, actually about 4 degrees here up in northwest, or excuse me, northeast China, and down here about 21. So really that's kind of just showing the difference in that actually a sharp contrast in the difference in temperatures here as that cold air rushes out of Mongolia and towards the south. And with that, it actually might start extending all the way over here towards Korea and parts of Japan could see it cool down by early next week. Not expecting it to be so significant over Japan, as that maritime effect's likely going to take hold, but even parts of Korea and eastern China definitely should see a cool down as that cold air rushes down towards the south. And I want to look down towards the south really quick here, just looking out across Australia, and what I'm noting here is some rain showers actually moving across northern Australia and parts of Queensland, specifically right in here just off the coast of Cairns and Townsville. You got some thunderstorms developing up there, so really kind of good news as that moves on shore. We're kind of a relief from the heat out there, as we have seen extensive drought actually recently across Queensland. Well, looks like some of the monsoonal rains are starting to set back in here. I know it's only October and really that monsoon doesn't start kicking up until about January or February, but good news, you're starting to see a transition here. But the Australian high as well starting to settle a little bit farther towards the south here as that starts to sit in, and also you still seeing these maritime lows move towards the south. But just one thing I do want to quickly note out here across Australia, I haven't forgotten about you, and definitely look forward to bringing you this year's cyclone season. Hopefully it's not as active as last year. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for listening here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, always post them in the comment box below, and I hope you have a great day out there, everybody. Stay safe.